It's been a while since I've gone over diabolical texts, and today I've got a doozy for you. It's a maniac melting down over mayonnaise, blowing a gasket, going ballistic at his girlfriend because he believes that she has tampered with his mayonnaise, and even goes as far as to lightly accuse her of trying to poison him through this new state of matter that he found the mayonnaise in. He's a 46-year-old gentle sir, tip the fedora, who's a big mayonnaise enthusiast that really thinks he stumbled across a grand conspiracy here that his girlfriend is at the helm of. We begin our journey into madness. He says, "Funny how all the Hellmans is liquid state. Ideas?" This is clearly confusing to her because it reads like a fucking riddle. She says, "What? What does that mean?" "Lived on my own since '96. Never seen that. 2 separate bottles." I love the way he says that, lived on my own since '96. That's like some shit you'd hear from like some washed up loser who's like, "Yeah, as you know, I was the quarterback that led my high school football squad to the state championship in '98. Go Warthogs. I could have been pro if it wasn't for that damn case of athlete's foot." She then asks, "Are you talking about mayo?" Which he responds saying, "Bravo. What a fucking douchebag. This guy is turbo dweeb." And then she says, "So we went all day not fighting and you're ending the night fighting over mayo. Okay." That's a pretty sad message because it sounds like they fight all the time. He then gets his monocle out and begins his interrogation, connecting the pieces of this puzzle like it's fucking LA Noire. "Super weird you disappeared when you dude. And both of them melted in the fridge. I have samples." This man's got the beakers out and he's mixing chemicals, testing the viscosity and the compounds within the mayo. She then reminds him that she doesn't eat mayonnaise and then asks what melted. And he just says, "Inver seen anything like it, going to bed." What in the world are you talking about? Great question. Try to answer tomorrow. Weirdo is speaking in riddles. The timeline is all cattywampus, so he's saying that it's odd she disappeared at some point. I don't know what he even meant by that. He said that she disappeared when dude. I don't know what that means, so I'm guessing he thinks that when she wasn't like in the room with him, she must have been contaminating the mayonnaise and liquefying it for some reason. What an unhinged theory from a dangerously stupid goober. I wonder if he also goes to the fridge and freaks out when he sees that his expired milk is a little chunky. Does he accuse his girlfriend of foul play then too? Like, "You harlot! You chunkified my milk! These are cyanide crystals in here! You want me dead!" Like, how can he be 46 years old and not understand that mayonnaise is an emulsification of oils and egg, and sometimes that shit can just separate? Mental break, I guess you're having. Nothing you're saying makes sense. First mayo, now something about melting? How's this? I use Hellmann's mayo regularly, as you know. I know the viscosity. Oh, what is this guy? The fucking mayor of mayonnaise? This guy a mayonnaise sorcerer? A wizard? He understands it inside and out? He's like a spokesperson for Hellmann's. He's like advertising the shit out of this product. Both containers are literally liquid. Nothing else has melted in the fridge. And she says, "And I did this?" He says, "I didn't." And she replies with a gif just calling him crazy. Which he is. He is crazy. She didn't do it. You didn't do it. It's something that happens to mayonnaise. You've been living on your own since '96, boofing mayonnaise for fucking 46 years, and you don't understand that mayonnaise can separate. I feel like even if someone explained this to him, he would just disregard it because he chooses not to believe it. He would rather believe that his girlfriend is trying to kill him through liquefying his mayonnaise. It's scary that people can end up at a point like this guy. Does he also go outside and shake his fist whenever the wind blows because he doesn't understand who's making the wind blow? "I'd been planking leftovers for late dinner all night before tomorrow starts a new week. Then mayo came out like soy sauce. That's a first. Then the other container did it. Never seen that in my life, even when mayo is left out." Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He's got the magnifying glass out and he's looking at the footprints and he's starting to piece together what's happening. And then she says, "And you're blaming me. I don't even eat mayo. Case in point. And I'm crazy." I don't even know what case in point he's talking about. Like, exactly. You don't eat mayo. Checkmate. She then wants just like full clarification on what he actually thinks is going on. So she says, "What is it exactly you think I did?" And he disregards that, just saying, "I'm going to sleep." "Hey, Buster, don't forget to check under your bed for the boogeyman that's sabotaging your mayonnaise." Melted mayo. Sabotage your mayo. Wow. Good night. He says, do yourself a favor. Open trash can and look. Tell me it's normal. Just look at both containers. I don't even need to open your trash can. It's normal. She didn't liquefy your mayonnaise, man. It wasn't, pumped full of, plutonium or something to take you out. That happens to mayonnaise. And then here's where it gets real spicy. He says, thus far you haven't been able to poison me. Moron's been watching too much Game of Thrones. He thinks that everyone's out to get him. You're mental. We watch the same shows, which tells me he actually just can't separate reality from fiction. But I would love to know what show has a character poison another through watery mayonnaise. She says, save those bottles and go get them examined, lol, and your brain while you're at it. And he says, well, they are in the trash. Feel free to investigate. 100% he should double fist those Hellmans and take them to a forensic lab to get them checked. He should absolutely do that, and I guarantee, even when it comes back totally normal, no contaminants, he would still disregard it and say that they're lying, it's all a big conspiracy, they're working with his girlfriend to take him out. He then says, tell me if the consistency makes sense. Holy shit, this guy. So she says, so I tried poisoning you. What the hell is wrong with you, dude? I haven't touched your mayo or anyone's mayo, not even touched store mayo. How is it different from last night? What happened last night? I made a sandwich with mayo. Oh no, the smoking gun! Just last night, the mayo was the perfect viscosity, and then today, it's ruined. There's only one explanation. It must have been poisoned by my girlfriend. I realize how odd this is, but I've never seen anything like this. He's making it sound like some kind of crazy scientific discovery, like he just discovered fucking an alien spacecraft that crash landed in his backyard. I've never seen anything of this sort on this planet. It doesn't compute. Mayo doesn't just do this, and you randomly started being calm and cordial this morning, unprompted after weeks and weeks of deliberately being impossible. I threw it all out. This guy sounds like such an asshole. An actual unhinged, delusional, dumb, turbo-idiot asshole. Like, Mayo does do that. Like, it is well known for doing that. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen. It's well documented. And he's talking about it like this is some one-of-a-kind phenomenon, and the only logical explanation is that it must have been poisoned. And she just says, you are nuts. Which he is. He then says, it spreads a certain way, unless somehow that has changed. But it would have been within the last 24 hours. It was like it had melted. She just says, dude. Yeah, dude, you know I use mayo on sandwiches. This was like a melted mayo spread. Never seen anything like it from both bottles. And then she's just like, okay, then we'll take the bottles tomorrow, have somewhere examine them, and you can come put them somewhere safe. Put his mayo in a vault, a refrigerated vault. You can find them in trash can. Please feel free to examine them and prove me wrong. I know it sounds weird going to bed. It's weird as fuck and mental. It's just oddly mean. Good night, dude. I don't know why he keeps challenging her to prove him wrong. It would only take one quick Google search to figure out why his mayonnaise has ended up in that state, and it has nothing to do with his girlfriend tampering with it to make an attempt on his life. What a bizarre lunatic, making a huge hubbub about mayonnaise and then accusing his girlfriend of trying to kill him. That's craziness. I got a little parasocial here trying to learn more about this guy. I got so curious to learn more about him, and she had made a couple other posts about him. The other ones are just really sad. I'm not going to get into it, but there's nothing I learned more about him except that he is a big asshole that is very unstable, and she should absolutely leave him as soon as possible. ASAP. So, anyway, I just had to talk about this a little bit. It was a wild read. That's it. See ya. Flirting with someone can oftentimes be challenging, and occasionally the only winning move is not to play. Sometimes it's best just to spam emotes and see how that goes. And today I want to take you on a journey. It's a 2-part epic like Homer's Odyssey, but if Homer had written about a weirdo who's desperately trying to make a woman fall in love with him by calling her autistic. Now the backstory here, I'll go ahead and give you the cliff notes of the prequel. This gentle sir protagonist has just joined a new friend group and has found particular interest in this woman, and he reaches out to her trying to, like, talk to her, saying, I'll be honest with you, I don't understand you. And then he just goes on to say that she's quiet and he doesn't know anything about her other than she likes potatoes in the town of Salem, and that he just laments that he just doesn't know anything about her and she doesn't make eye contact with him. She asks, does that bother you? And he says no, which is a big fib right there. Lying is a sin and now he's condemned straight to hell. This clearly bothers him because he melts down about it. He also doesn't keep that charade up for long. He immediately folds and says, I mean, somewhat, yeah. It actually hurts a lot. It keeps me up at night. I actually can't sleep. I'm crying all the time because of it. But it's a normal human response, so you can't blame me. Too late. I'm already blaming you. Can I ask a blunt question? She says, sure. And he says, are you autistic? Man, the Riz Lord has struck like a lightning bolt here. If those panties aren't sodden after that blunt question, I just don't know what works anymore. She says, no, are you? And he goes, lol, no. So what do you think about me? She says, in what way? He seems to get kind of offended by that, so he snaps like a Redditor adjusting his fedora. It's a simple question. What do you think about me? Madame, it's actually quite elementary, honestly. What do you think about me as a lover? She pulls no punches and just goes, I don't really think of you, so not sure how to answer that. That was quite the fucking biblical smackdown right there. And he says, Jesus. Okay, I'll try something else. Why? At that point, you should just be like, yep, that didn't work. I'm gonna go do something else. I'm gonna go solo queue in League of Legends and wash away my troubles. Like, I don't know why he's gonna try something else. But he goes, why do you never laugh at my jokes? Not that I'm trying to make you in particular laugh. Why is it so hard to make conversation with you? It's like I'm reading text messages from Timmy Turner to Trixie. Like, what do you mean, why do you never laugh at my jokes? I wonder what the dynamic of the friend group is like with this guy in there. Does he try to be like the class clown or something? So, for context, she is 23 years old, he is 24 years old, and I imagine the rest of the friend group is in that early 20s ballpark. So these aren't children, these are adults. And he's like, why do you never laugh at my jokes? I told you to pull my finger and I tooted. And you didn't even giggle. Like, what am I supposed to do? This is side-splitting comedy. Come on. Why is it so hard to make conversation with you? Are you autistic? He just texts so juvenile. What do you think about me? Do you like me? Circle yes or no. Or you're autistic. And then he, like, runs away. She responds saying, I'm more of a listener. Don't take it personal. I'm just shy, I guess. And then he immediately takes it personal. There's gotta be a reason. I'm better looking and more successful than 90% of the men you know. So what's your type? I want to get to know you. He's desperate. He's on his knees right now, shaking his hands. I must know. There's gotta be a reason. And she says, my type is a man who doesn't ask me if I'm autistic. I mean, that's pretty picky. Come on. Well, you're looking for a unicorn here. All good men accuse the women they're trying to win over of being autistic at some point. It's standard protocol. This guy's just following the textbook formula. He then says, can you blame me for assuming that? What the fuck? Yes, absolutely. That's a crazy thing to assume about someone, especially considering his whole purpose of the conversation was trying to get laid. Like, he's romantically interested in this person, and his way of spitting game is to ask if they're autistic. That's such a weird thing to do. And then he goes, don't get me wrong, you're pretty, but I definitely considered the possibility you're autistic or definitely on the spectrum somewhere. One of the number one signs of autism is not laughing at this guy's jokes. So he looked it up on WebMD and he was just, for her own sake, like concerned for her well-being. He's actually looking out for her. She says, lol, what? Reflect on your words when you go to bed tonight. See ya. Just trying to end this conversation because it's going downhill so quick. This is an avalanche of dog shit. And he just goes, wow. Owen Wilson's there for a moment and then just says, I think you're jealous I spent the night with redacted and you went home alone. This is classic. When everything goes tits up, it's like, you're actually just super jealous of me because I'm slamming ham on the regular. I'm fucking your friends. I am having sex with women that want me because it's impossible for a woman not to want me. You just must be autistic. That's what's going on here. And you're jealous now. You're the problem, not me. And you're lucky that I even gave you the time of day. Your loss.
He then clears the air here, making sure that it doesn't trouble her mind that Casanova is spoken for, and he also doesn't want any rumors to spread in the friend group, so he clarifies, "Don't worry, nothing happened. We just watched Netflix in bed. No need to be jealous," and then drop this emoji. I have a hunch she really wasn't jealous. Just a guess. She doesn't seem interested. And I think you have ensured that she will never be interested by trying to, diagnose her with autism through text message flirting. Now, the next day, she made a follow-up post because he had an even bigger, psychotic break here. So that was all part 1. Part 2, he comes back bigger and badder than ever here. The sequel went insano style. So he texts her saying, "What's your problem? Is this some sort of trauma response?" Crying, laughing emoji, which I don't think there was any laughing, just crying behind the phone on this one. "I just don't get it," blank, using her name. "I've known you since March 12th, and for whatever God knows what reason, you decide to treat me like complete shit. You hug Redacted and Redacted, but not me. You share a couch with Redacted, but when I join, you get up and leave. Do you think I'm fucking stupid? Or blind? Or what? The fuck did I ever do to you? I'm pissed off because you're clueless and extremely oblivious to the point you don't appreciate a good thing when it's directly in your face." What the hell is even that, brother? A good thing when it's directly in your face? The only thing that's directly in her face is your accusations that she might be autistic. What are you talking about? You're LARPing as her, doctor, and nothing else. Even just setting aside the baffling autism accusations, there's no even semblance of romance behind his texts. They're just aggressive. And nothing beyond that. They're just weird. So I don't know why he's thinking that he's doing such a good job with the game that she should be enamored with him. But then he just goes, "I just, period, don't, period, get, period, it, period." Goes full-blown rock bottom. "I just don't get it. Help me understand her name." He keeps repeating her name. So he just keeps saying it over and over again. Just saying her name in these texts. And she just says, "Lol, what?" She says, "Are you fighting yourself right now? Am I involved in this argument?" Man, she is just absolutely slapping this guy. It's so good. Yeah, I mean, this guy's just fighting his inner demons here. This man's battling ghosts in the paranormal dimension. He says, "This is all about you," her name. "Stop acting so obtuse. You may not be autistic, but you sure act like you're into trains or some shit." I don't know what is going on in his fucking frontal lobe here. It just gets worse and worse. She says, "LMAO, why do you keep saying my name? Trains are cool. Is there some unresolved childhood trauma I need to know about? Because what the fuck is your problem? I can help you out if that's the case, but you have to let me take the first step and stop being so guarded all the damn time. It's impossible to get through to you." Why would you be asking about these things? If there's some childhood trauma, I need to know about it. Also, let's just go ahead and assume she's like, "You know what, there is some childhood trauma," and then she, spills her guts to him. This would be, the worst person to confide anything in. This is a guy who's already having a conniption because she doesn't laugh at his jokes and doesn't make eye contact enough with him. I highly doubt he would be a good confidant for anything heavy. This guy would immediately be like, "Oh, well, childhood trauma, it's another symptom of autism. It's ridiculous. You're lucky you have me around, honestly." Says her name again, which is so creepy. He just keeps throwing her name into every message he sends as if it's some kind of, dramatic moment in a television series. "Please, I know you hear it all the time, but you're very pretty. I like you when you're not acting like an autistic, frigid bitch. Respectfully." Hey, that silver tongue's coming out in full effect right now. He's becoming irresistible. March 12th, and I haven't proven myself enough to you yet. Real quick, March 12th is not that long. It's not like you've fucking known her your whole life or anything. What are you expecting to do in this span of time to make her fall in love with you? What do you mean you haven't proven yourself enough to her yet? What are you trying to do, backflips and shit? Do you just keep trying to tell, the worst jokes imaginable, hoping to get some kind of pity giggle out of her? It's so incomprehensible. He thinks that it's been such a long time. You've been single all this time. Ages. Almost 2 months you've been single. It's crazy. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't compute. It's extremely suspicious, actually. Why would a girl like you be single? What are you hiding? I don't understand what you want, in all honesty, lol. First step of what? Referring to his previous message where he asked her to, or when he said that he wants to take the first step, but she needs to let him. She teases him with some sarcasm here. LMAO, okay, I'm hiding so much, dude. First step of our potential. He's already envisioned 5 different universes where you two are madly in love, and the potential it's incalculable. I can make your life 10 times better than it is now. I'm so sure of that, I'd give that to you in writing, which is legally binding through text messages. You're beautiful, her name again, and I'm what you want in a guy, correct? Incorrect. Where did he even get that assumption from? I'm exactly what you want in a guy, right? The one who just keeps accusing you of being autistic? That's what you're looking for, isn't it? No? Well, I guess you have some unresolved childhood trauma then, and you're just a frigid bitch, I suppose. And then he just says, you're joking. You're performing. He can't accept that she wouldn't be interested in him. You're putting on a teach me a lesson or something stupid, lol. I don't for a second believe you. Her name again. What does that mean? You're putting on a teach me a lesson? What is that? I don't understand. That doesn't make any sense. I don't have to date you just because you find me physically attractive. That's like consent 101. Believe what you want. Don't forget, I'm suspicious. Yeah, you are, because there's no way you're single. You either have a severe mental disorder or asexual. And she says, so anyone who's not into you falls under that category, LMAO. Interesting. I love so many things about you. Her name again. The way that his mind is able to switch gears is pretty impressive here. You must have a severe mental disorder. I love so many things about you, Schnookums. Oh, sweet pea. Oh my goodness, I just want to cuddle up inside you and let our bodies perform fucking friction on each other till we start a fire with our love. Genuinely, I love you as a friend, and I love you as a person. I want to make you smile. Smile emoji. That's so cringe. Oh, that's so fucking bad. I want to make you smile. Like this. See Exhibit A, for example. It's the smiling emoji with a little blush. Oh... He's trying to be mushy here after insulting her, doing nothing but insulting her for the entire, 2-day conversation. What's your height, by the way? All of my exes have been 5'9 plus, so taller than you, Winky. But you have gorgeous eyes and tasty lips for sure. You look healthy. You make me want to become a daddy. Who took his phone? Who did he just give his phone to? This can't be the same guy. This is full-blown Jekyll and Hyde. It cannot be the fucking same guy. Literally, the previous message before he tried this approach was saying that she must have some kind of severe mental disorder or be asexual because she's still single after 2 months. Oh boy. Jiminy Christmas. So, this is going to be a shocker, but that's the last time they communicated, at least as of right now. She shared the text messages with the rest of the friend group, and they found him to be extremely obnoxious and creepy, so apparently they kicked him out and they don't really talk to him. Can't imagine why. Seems like such a good, stable individual, I suppose. Yeah, I just wanted to share this a little bit. If you're going to try and flirt with someone, maybe don't follow this guy's roadmap. Not very effective. That's about it. So yeah. Have you ever really taken a step back and got deep in thought and realized just how incredible it is that we as humans are able to speak to each other, language, and how mind-blowing that concept is? Communication is a blessing, but today I almost feel like it's a curse. I just read legitimately the worst thing ever, and it makes me regret that our ancestors at one point when they were still cavemen started grunting at each other to communicate, and then it eventually led to this existing. Oh my god, I saw this today, and it made me ill. And I thought, if I had to bear this burden knowing that this exists, you're gonna have to share in the load with me, so let's go on a little adventure here. It's from Tinder. Let me introduce you to the boy wonder Chris here. So, these two individuals matched, and Chris was making the first move here, shooting his shot. I better be your top priority, with a little winky face emoji. I don't know if that's the strongest opener. I haven't been on dating apps in many moons now, but that seems a bit weak, but hey, his heart's in the game. She responds to that in a pretty playful way, I think is what she was going for. So she says, let me know if you want to go out tomorrow so I can cancel my daughter's parent-teacher conference. To which our Casanova here says, such a good girl you are. I'm free tomorrow. It's already getting so yucky. Such a good girl you are. He's speaking to her like it's a dog or something, like he's about to offer her a treat. And then she says, I'm not, with a laughing crying emoji, to which he wants some clarity. You're not a good girl, or you're not free. And she clears up the confusion. She says, not free. I have to go to a parent-teacher conference. Already, this whole exchange is going cattywampus. The wheels are falling off pretty quickly. And somehow it just continues to go further downhill. A goddamn avalanche of cringe. So he goes, damn, I actually thought you'd be fucking bad AF and cancel. Ha ha. And she says, I'm alarmed that you would want to go out with someone who would do that. And he goes, ha ha. I mean, in the back of my head, I was hoping it was a joke, that you didn't actually have one. To which she says, unfortunately, I do. And then he goes, all good, you're doing well, giving me attention right now. And then she says, I can meet up for a drink if you want since you live close. I have my kids this week, but they're older, so it's not like I can't go out. I have them every other week. Where do you live? His response here is really confusing. What does that mean? All good, you're doing well, giving me attention right now. What's happening? Is she like scratching under his chin? Like, I don't get it. What is he referring to? They're just talking on Tinder, and why is she... So you're going to start to notice that as this exchange continues to unfold here, it feels as though they're having two different conversations. Like, it's super all over the place. Like, the dots don't connect at all. Like, they're in two different dialogue trees, and it's not matching up. Now, our boy Chris, the protagonist, is a lot of things, but a coward he is not. He tries to employ the most delusional strategy you could ever envision. This is not something you'd ever find in John Madden's playbook, I'll say it like that. So, after he asks which part of downtown she's in, she replies, not saying. He then tries to, like, assure her that he's not gonna, like, go out of his way to find her. He's not, like, a stalker. He's not weird or creepy. He says, I'm not gonna go find you, lol. And then he says, I just got done with the gym, now doing post-workout naked stretching. Chris, are you okay? Post-workout naked stretching. You're off your gourd. Brother, you lost your marbles. What is a post-workout naked stretch? Are you telling me this guy's at Planet Fitness right now in the locker room fucking goatseeing himself in order to get, like, reps in at the end? Like, that's how he cools down? What is a post-workout naked stretch? I've never heard of that before. This is him trying to be, like, hot about things, I think. Like, ooh, this is gonna get her wet. I was at the gym, pumping iron, praying at the Iron Temple, way min, babe. And then I finished. Biggest pump of my life. So obviously I took my pants off, put both legs over my head, and hung a 5-pound kettlebell from my erect wiener. Hold for 30 seconds for 3 sets. It's the only way to conclude a good workout. Like, what the fuck is even happening? I don't know why he thought this was a good idea. Like, unless he's like an OnlyFans creator or something, and this is just content that he films, like the, naked yoga that you see on YouTube or something. It's just, it is a wild attempt here at, like, flirting or trying to be, like, sexy on Tinder or something. It is bold. It is brutally cringe. She then responds by saying, if you were driving by, you might peep in the window. Haha. Sounds uncomfortable. Referring to the stretching, I think. To which he just says, I mean, of course. Now here's where things get even more fucking confusing here. The conversation really does feel like some kind of malfunctioning questline in an MMO where, like, the dialogue is just incorrect. Like, the characters are glitching out. So he says, to the stretch, asking about, like, what sounds uncomfortable. And then she says, no, for work. My stylist feeds me champagne. I don't know, maybe I'm the problem. What is she talking about? Like, how does that fit into anything that's happened here with this absolute disaster that Chris is trying? I don't understand. Maybe she's just trying to change the subject. I'm really not sure. And then he goes, was a bartender, now I'm just a content creator and gonna start day trading. Oh, so you're a little horny. What is happening? So I think my initial theory might be the right one. He might be like an OnlyFans creator, so the naked stretching he puts on the premium subscription tiers or something. But those days are going to be short-lived because he's going right to day trading. He's going to the tippy top of the food chain. He's watched a few TikTok financial gurus and he's got it figured out now. I also don't know why he says, so you're a little horny. Like, where is he even finding that? There's no hint of horniness anywhere in here. And then she goes, oh God, what a nightmare you are. Got some crypto, do you? So the red flags are abundant here. She's starting to notice there's some holes in this ship, and it is sinking. This is fucking going disastrous, catastrophic. And he goes, ew, no, I'm not a corporate bro. I'm a film person. I mean, okay. To which she also just says,
Okay. And he goes, good girl. What in tarnation is happening? This is like when you used to try to talk to Cleverbot back in like 2010. It's nonsensical. Chris's mind is an enigma. It is a confusing, perplexing hellscape of ideas, and communication is not. It's frying my brain just trying to process it. His inability to communicate effectively is impressive. It's alarming. Next he says, I just want to get away from bartending before I hit someone, lol, to which he says, yeah, nobody wants to hit content creators and day traders, obviously making a joke about it. He then goes, nah, or tap. But at least I'm tall and handsome, one saving grace. So he's trying to hype himself up, give himself some gas here, which falls extremely flat. The tank is run empty. She just goes, if you say so. And then he tries to save it by saying, a focus group told me, wasn't my say. His attempt at being playful, like, oh, I would never say this about myself. It's what everybody else says. I'm tired of hearing it actually about how fucking tall and handsome I am. And then she says, I like short guys. He goes, how short? And she says 5'7" to 5'10". And this is where it got personal for me. A dagger to my heart. She likes short guys and then lists guys taller than me. So I am freakishly short in her eyes. That's fucked up. 5'6" is fine. 5'6" is a beautiful, perfect height. Damn it. His response to all this is another head scratcher. He goes, well, I'm too tall to ride you then, even though I prefer shorter women. She says, well, I'm sure I'm too non-gym oriented for you. He says, you look like a gym exercise, to be honest. Like, yeah, you look like a good barbell curl. You look like a lat pull-down machine, babe. Yeah, fuck yeah. Nailed that. A wonderful line from him, really. I walk my dog slowly around the block twice a day. He says, I'll be the dog. This guy is so horny. This guy is criminally horny. Like, his arousal should be studied because it is on a whole different level, a whole different dimension. Everything he is reading is making him hornier, and he's saying goofier and creepier things each and every time. She goes, no offense, but you might be the fuckboyest fuckboy I've ever talked to on Tinder. And he goes, damn, you must not get many guys on here then. You could get 1 million guys, and I still think this guy would be up there in like the top 0.001% of outrageously horny weirdos. This is impressive. She says he's her first match in a year and a half, and he says, because this is light news compared to the shit I've heard, talking about like war stories, about to have a PTSD episode about the shit he's read on here. And then he says, doesn't help, I'm naked with a heart on. And then her response is, I don't feel like I'm being very flirtatious. And then he says, the stretching and stroking while talking to you helped. What is happening? Somebody save Chris from himself. What is going on? This could be its own fuel source. Like, his sexual arousal, his non-stop, never-ending horniness on a conversation that has gone nowhere, talked about nothing, and yet he is still beating his meat to it, choking the chicken to what? To what? Like, there's not even, like, an imagination you can make out of this conversation that would be even remotely associated with something sexual. And he just keeps going. He's talking about being naked with a heart on. What happened to your naked stretches? What are your stretches? What are those naked post-workout stretches? Does he put a butt plug in and wiggle it around or something to stretch out his ass, and that's why he's so horny now? Is hitting his G-spot? Like, what is going on? All she says to that is, okay. And then he goes, do you mind? I'm doing it whether you mind or not. I don't really care, but do you mind? Is that cool with you, you think? And then she goes, mind what? Me stroking myself while we chat. Oh, it's so yucky. Oh, it's so foul. Not at all. Can I tell you a story about last night when I was alone in my bed? Sure. My cat jumped up next to me and started hacking, and then she threw up in my hair. So this is her attempt to try and gross him out to ruin his mood, but she doesn't realize the raid boss of cringe that she's up against. He even calls her bluff. He goes, not gonna get me soft. Literally wiggling his finger saying, nope, that's not gonna stop me. I'm squeezing my hog no matter what. I've had my cat vomit multiple times. I had to get up anyway because I perioded all over my sheets. And he goes, yum, nice try. And she goes, through the mattress cover. He goes, bleach helps. Were you naked?
Oh my god, he's still in it. He's still in the zone. He's in the flow state. He's in the mainframe. And she goes, I was wearing my hoodie footy pajamas that have toasters on them. To which he says, with an ass flop. And he comes back to clarify that he meant flap, because ass flop makes no sense and wouldn't want to be rude. That'd be ridiculous. To which she also says, no, that's ridiculous. And he goes, of course, I'm harder than ever now. She just sends an emoji. He goes, yep, I'll leave you alone unless I can show off. So he's finally saying, all right, I'm out of here. I've had my fill. I've done what I needed to do. I'm good. And then she closes this all out by saying, why do you even need to get a woman on the other end of the conversation? Just put a wig on a stuffed giraffe and show her your stuff and talk about how hot you are. So this whole conversation is one for the books. This is something special. This is so fucking weird. On every possible level. A part of me thought that it was him just trying to be weird on purpose, just to like, I don't know, gross out a stranger on Tinder or something. But the more I read about it and read it itself, the sacred text here, the more I'm convinced that this guy is just an actual fucking freak. Like, just an actual lunatic. So yeah, I just had to share this. That's about it. So yeah. Online dating's pretty tough. I remember when I was a single man using Tinder, my go-to line was, do you like Brendan Fraser movies? It worked to tremendous success. It was like a real-life cheat code for getting laid. But I understand not everyone's going to be as suave as I was. However, I'd argue nobody has less game than the guy I'm about to show you. This should lift your spirits. If you ever feel bad about yourself, like, damn, I suck at online dating, just know you'll never be as bad as this living, breathing organism I'm about to show you. For those that have been around the channel for a while, you'll know that I've always enjoyed reading horrible flirting as well as just really disastrous, like, romance attempts online. I used to have a whole series going through Facebook flirting, which is where I learned about, you know, bitch lasagna, as well as also a line I still use today, put your ass in my asshole, baby. Things like that. I've always loved it. I don't really make content around it anymore, but today I had to come out of retirement. I had to dust off the old championship belt here for this one because I saw this on Reddit and I was smiling ear to ear. It is so bad. So this is where our journey begins. Now, again, this was posted to Reddit, so there's like a 90% chance it's fake. But god damn it, I'm gonna suspend disbelief and just enjoy the ride. Now, of course, I'm not an expert here. Rick wouldn't call me into the shop on Pawn Stars to check the authenticity of this piece, but there are countless of very real examples with pathetic dudes that go just like this. So, there is a good chance it's real. So these two have been talking for a little while, and my man comes in with the clown shoes and asks, are you on birth control? I know it's a personal question, but kind of important to know. And then they say, okay, I'm canceling Wednesday. This could have gone better. This is suboptimal. This is a rough start right here. If it was a speed run, this would be a reset. This is about as bad as you could expect. He immediately ruined the date that they had planned by just immediately going full hog and just sending it. And from there was no recovering, and it gets real bad. He does not handle this super well. There was no grace or elegance. Lol, I'm kidding, dude, relax. He's just, it's just stand-up comedy, honestly. He was practicing his material. Why are you overreacting? I'm uncomfortable with these jokes. Okay, sorry, I'll stop, okay? No, I'm still canceling it. And now we get into his Joker arc. Well, that's really your loss for being so uptight, but okay. I'll just go to work and make $900 in 12 hours. Really? You're overreacting. Seriously? And you wonder why you're single? Yawn. Still waiting for your reply, lol. I actually had you double booked with another girl, so I'm kinda happy you decided to be a psycho. You sure you want to cancel it? This is a full roller coaster worth of emotion here. This man's hitting all 5 stages of denial within 6 text messages. This shit goes insano style quick. So let's break it down piece by piece. You know, at first it's like, okay, you're missing out on a catch. I'm the perfect guy. I'm a real fucking man. Check my KD in Fortnite. I'm nuts. And you know what? Fuck you. I'm just going to go make $900 in 12 hours at my job because I'm pulling fat racks. I've got stacks on stacks. Like, I'm kind of nutty. I'm one of the wealthiest men in the world, in fact. Then you can see panic start to set in when the money play didn't pan out. I'm guessing like 5 minutes had passed and he was already hyperventilating and breathing into a paper bag to calm himself down. So he tries to like put it on her like something's wrong with her. She's overreacting. Why are you just freaking out over nothing? It's like that scene in Airplane with that girl who's like afraid of flying. So they start like shaking her. Hey,
Get a hold of yourself. Come on, get a hold of yourself. It was just a joke. So then he goes right into his bad boy mode. He puts on his sunglasses and trench coat and says, you know what, actually this is good for me. I double booked you with another girl. So the fact that you're psycho is helpful for me, because now I can just go to this other girl. In fact, I was just trying to have like 10 girls to have sex with on the same day, and you were just one of the many. So it's not that big of a deal. But are you sure you want to cancel? Like, I'm totally telling the truth, but are you like sure you want to cancel? I love that attempt. It's like, I'm so desirable, actually. In fact, I totally forgot I'd already had another girl that I was going to fuck this day, so it's fine. And then has the audacity to call her a psycho. And I love the way that he says it, I double booked. This man has clearly never actually had a date in his life. It's like he's just penciling it in on a calendar, as if it's like a part of his job. Now we make a transition into Act 3 here, into just full-blown neediness and scary obsession. Please call me, please, I'm at work, dude. Lol, I know, I'm just being incredibly annoying to show you how most guys act, so maybe you'll realize I'm not that bad. So I'll see you Wednesday? That doesn't even make sense, you were fine until that joke. This is a Hail Mary. This man hatched the ultimate plan, so after he realized that by begging to be called back, it was a bit much, a rare moment of self-reflection, he's like, okay, yeah, it's a bit weird. So then he's like, how do I get out of this now? I've got it. I was actually just pretending to be needy and obsessed. It was called acting. I was actually just doing this to show you what most other simpletons do, not a sophisticated, nice guy like me. So I'll see you Wednesday, right? Dude, I was kidding with you. It's a joke. You do know I'm a doctor, right? My brain thinks at a much higher level than yours or the average person. It wasn't even sexual. It was a joke. And I said if you don't like those type of jokes, I won't joke like that anymore. This should be the end of it. You should be like, okay, cool. And then if I do it again, then you get pissed. Yeah, he's a doctor. Dr. Love, baby. This guy's good. This is real smooth. I have to imagine he's not actually a doctor. I mean, maybe fucking Dr. Evil, I have no clue. But regardless, I love that he's like, I actually just have such a galaxy brain, I'm thinking on a totally different level than you and all of these other plebeians. I'm just too fucking smart. That's my curse. That's the burden I bear. I'm too intelligent, which is why I made this joke. And the joke is a thinking man's joke. It's actually an anti-joke, in fact. You know how there's like matter and antimatter? This is an anti-joke, and now I'm explaining it to you so you don't have the right to get mad about it. You see, you're just wrong for getting upset about it, and it's because I'm so much smarter than you. And I understand that it's not your fault for being fucking stupid, but just know that since I'm a doctor, I know what's right and what's wrong when it comes to joking. You off just get pissed right off the bat and be all rude to someone. That's a major turnoff, and just know. Yeah, she was the one being rude. She was nice enough to give you like a warning that she's canceling. She's like, hey, you're a fucking weirdo and I'm canceling. She could have just said nothing and not showed up on Wednesday, wasting your time by going there. And you just sit there all fucking soft cock in hand waiting and just not even getting a response. But she was nice enough to like cancel to your face. Like, that's far more than you deserved. Okay, so rant over. Are we cool now? Yeah, I think things are good now. I'm reading the room and it looks like he may have solved this problem here and fixed everything. You just talk shit to me. All I said was I'm canceling it. I didn't do what did talk shit to someone. What? Those are not coherent sentences. Of course I'm talking shit to you. You just flaked after I asked for that night off. Do you know how hard it is for me to get a night off work? Continuing further, let's just stop this childish nonsense. I'll see you Wednesday, right? This is that shit, don't take no for an answer, which I think is honestly the worst advice you can ever give someone. No is like the most important answer you should accept. By not accepting no's, you're just gonna go to jail at some point. Like, you're just asking for some kind of awful thing to happen to you. Like, no is an important thing to recognize and respect. And then they respond, you do not need to criticize my sentences. Change of mind and telling you about it doesn't really make it flaking. I was upfront. You said you already booked another date with someone else. Go enjoy it. I don't know why you're trying to with me, especially since you think so little of me already. Man's going full-blown car salesman. Just meet me Wednesday. I'm sorry, okay? Just will not drop it. There is no chance she shows up on Wednesday. This is coming across like an actual serial killer now who's just scratching at his neck for his next victim. Like, he just cannot help but just keep saying, you're coming Wednesday. I know you are. You're gonna meet me here Wednesday. Call me immediately. I'm at work. I'm not going to take the call. Okay, then we are meeting Wednesday, right? Are we cool? I feel like she might be talking to King Ghidorah here, just three separate heads all talking at once and all having different thoughts. One of them is just a fucking android that can only say Wednesday. One of them's just like a spiteful lunatic who thinks that there's some galaxy brain intellect that can't help but shit on her. And then one of them's just like a lobotomized zombie who just constantly just keeps asking, are we cool? Are we good now? It's wild, like the swings this guy goes through on these text messages here. Then he goes all in saying, look, my mom recently died, okay? So I'm kinda not really in the best place to be messed with. So if you could understand that, that would be great. Please, dude, please answer me. Can you please stop being immature and call me? Now, admittedly, she was being very immature about this whole situation by not understanding such level-headed remarks from a gentleman like this. It really was her being immature, clearly. And I also can't help but respect the actual Xbox Live tactic of saying his mom died. That is, unironically, 2005 Xbox Live shit right there. Like, your mom's a whore, mom's dead. And it's supposed to be like the checkmate. He actually tried it. It's like, oh, mom's dead, so now you have to excuse everything I've said. And you have to go on this date with me. I'll see you Wednesday, right? Come on, stop being immature. So yeah, anyway, that's where this story wraps up. Hopefully, if some of you are shitty at online dating, this will help you feel a little bit better and maybe help you improve in that respect in some way. Hopefully, none of you are as bad as this guy or anywhere close, but if you're just kind of, awkward and uncomfortable when it comes to conversations via text, maybe this will lift your spirits up a little bit, because you're probably not as bad as this guy. Anyway, that's about it. See ya. If you've got a full belly, prepare yourself, because you might just puke upon seeing and listening to this unbelievable, embarrassing cringe. This is the worst flirting, the worst attempt at wooing a potential romantic interest I have ever seen. This is like playing a visual novel and then scaring away all of your potential love interests at once and getting the worst ending. Now, I'd like to give a bit of context here to the situation before we really dive into the meatballs from our spaghetti entree of cringe. A user on Twitter posted screenshots as well as videos from a random guy who had reached out to her on Facebook because he had seen her on a dating app. The two didn't even match, and I guess he must have assumed that it was some kind of glitch because they were destined to be lovers. It was fate that was pulling them together, but unfortunately technology had a malfunction, so he took matters into his own hands, tracked her down on Facebook, of which she had no connection to the dating app. She didn't connect any of her socials to the dating app, so he did some super sleuthing to find her on Facebook and reach out to her there to try and win her heart. And let's see how that went. Kelsey! I love that intro right there. It's straight out of Scary Movie, like that old commercial. What's up? He's coming at her like they're best friends from way back in the day. He then executes Order 66 and kills all potential for romance. He goes, okay, shit. Mayhaps that was a tad overly enthusiastic for a stranger danger message on a sunny Friday morning. There is so much quirk to the way that he texts that I'm getting uncomfortable. I can say with a high level of confidence that he is definitely in some kind of theater troupe because he is typing like he's acting out some kind of skit for a play. It's a little much here. My bad. Let's go with, I can explain. Fuck yeah, that works. Then drops a couple of emojis and then one of these bad boys. How she didn't immediately fall in love with this man is beyond me. This is aggressive. And it's already creepy because it's a complete stranger who saw her on a dating app and then tracked her down in order to, really directly communicate with her. So, let's go over where things went wrong here. I'll go ahead and get the playbook out like John Madden and say where everything fell apart for the offense. From the start, basically. There is nothing that's even remotely salvageable from what he tried to do here. There is nothing more annoying than texting like you're talking to yourself during the texts. Like when you say something like, Kelsey, mayhaps that was a tad too far on a stranger danger sunny Friday afternoon. Goodness gracious, how do I save this? Like that is so fucking lame. That is shameful. That is just downright shameful. I am shocked he didn't drop like an asterisk nuzzles you, and then an asterisk, you there? Yeah, and then one of those emojis. So she said, sorry, do I know you? And then it reactivates this cringe protocol. He says, oh hey, no, we don't know each other. Sincere apologies for this subterfuge. Oh brother, this guy stinks. Dropping subterfuge here in your creepy approach to a stranger. If you give me the tiniest bit of room, I'd be happy to explain. I reckon that said explanation will bring laughs and smiles. P.S. Not trying to rope you into a pyramid scheme to sell fancy Tupperware. Yet. He's trying very hard to be self-aware, and when he starts sending his voice memos to her, he reiterates 1,000 times like, this is weird, you're probably going to think I'm weird, and then just keeps doing it. He sends so many voice messages that go for a long time. It's making my voice crack because of how fucking embarrassing it is. And you want to know the wildest part? I'm getting ahead of myself, and it's a spoiler. He has done this to multiple women, apparently. Other women have come forward after this tweet and all of this, the receipts here and all that went viral, with other women showing their interactions with him, and he even uses, like, the exact same lines on other women, which is really odd considering that has to be a 0% success rate. These can't be working well at all. It's so weird. So she decides to play ball here and open Pandora's box to see what comes out. She says, explain away. And he gives a brief, cool guy thing. Oh god, I just spent 60 minutes singing to seniors and man am I drained. But fuck it, I can do this. He's hyping himself up in the text messages he is sending to this girl. It is so embarrassing, and he keeps doing it. But it gets worse because right after that, he sends a voice message.
Hey, Kelsey, how's it going? Don't mind me, I fucking hate texting. I think we're all better without it, so I usually use one of these when I can. Also, I don't know if you've ever seen that Key and Peele skit, but that's how I feel about texting. I could go on. Anyway, I just want you to know right off the bat, I fully accept how fucking weird this is. I'm sorry, but like I said, I think if you give me a second, you'll probably end up laughing. And not that you need my permission, but feel free to just laugh directly at me for being a fucking idiot, for I am surely about to embarrass myself right now.
I do appreciate your stamp of approval. I and everyone else will be laughing directly at you for this, and I appreciate that you recognize what an unbelievably weird thing it is to do. I don't know why you keep doing it. This is the first of many voice messages he sends, even after recognizing this immutable fact that it is weird and embarrassing.
And sorry for the delay. I was going to get back to you, but someone called about a gig tomorrow and I'm trying to help them find a musician. Also, I'm not sure if I'm fucking funny anymore. I just spent 60 minutes, like I said, playing guitar and singing to a room full of senior citizens, but the room was stuffy and hot. I had to do it with the surgical mask on, and I'm not sure if I have any funny or social energy left, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try and fake it right now. So thank you for your understanding and patience, and here goes nothing. I'm a fucking idiot. Enjoy.
He's actually treating this like it's some kind of movie audition. What are you talking about? I also I love that he immediately makes himself seem like super busy, like, hey, sorry for the delay. I know you were waiting on bated breath for my explanation, but I had to help very big musicians find a gig. You may have heard of them before. Bring Me the Horizon. I'm the lead singer. So I had a lot going on. I was double booked, so I had to give them a different band. You may have heard of them, Metallica. But anyway, let me go ahead and explain what's going on. I just finished one of my own gigs, in fact, so I'm a little drained, but don't be perturbed because I'm gonna do my best to fake it. So stay tuned for part 2. It's coming right up. Like he's about to go through his stand-up comedy routine, which you don't want to miss.
In the trenches of online dating for a couple of years, so I definitely know how to identify the kind of person I'm like, if nothing else, the world would be better if we were friends. So hear me out. First of all, I never fucking see that shrug emoji. No one else uses it. It's typed into my phone. If I type shrug with 2 G's, it just shows up. Same thing on my laptop. Like I'll use it in work emails. Fuck it. So right away I'm like, interesting. I don't get it though. She's cute. For how pretty she is, she should be boring. Why does she seem kind of strange in a good way?
That's a spectacular start right there. I was like, she's kind of pretty, so why isn't she like a fucking lobotomite boring dumbass? Like, she used an emoji that I really like, and she's pretty. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Pretty women can't have a personality, but you're like defying all of science right now. He just keeps going on about this fucking shrug emoji. He's talking about her bio on the dating site, and he just really fixates on that. That shrug emoji is like Cupid's arrow to this guy. He fell in love instantly when he saw it in her bio. I don't know why he thought it was a compliment to say that she's like strange and different in a good way because pretty women are like boring or whatever, insinuates that a pretty girl can't have a personality. I don't know what the thought process was with that approach, but it's definitely a bold play.
I think you said something about live music. My job is actually live music. I play guitar and sing. I do about 25 shows a month. I know it sounds made up. I feel like I invented the job. It's redonkulous, but I live very comfortably. Life is good. I do play at a lot of retirement homes, and it's great for my self-esteem, Kels, as I am a big hit with women over 80.
Time out. Technical foul here. He just dropped a redonkulous. He just said redonkulous. And then not only that, in his only second voice message here, he's already just calling her Kels. They're not even on like a first name basis. They're not acquaintances. These are two complete strangers, and he's already giving her like a nickname. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, and just the night before, I'd been talking to one of my best friends in the world, Roxy. Just people that like match you and they just write hey. So if someone writes hey, I just write hi. And if someone writes sup, I go nothing much, you. And like people that match me and clearly haven't read my fucking bio, folks will match and be like, so what do you do for a living? I'm like, come on, Chelsea. Like, yeah, you're kind of cute, but I'm pretty damn sweet. Try harder.
Why are you even talking about this? You're like trauma dumping on this complete stranger right now that you've tracked down from a dating app to try and communicate directly with because you didn't match with her. What the fuck is this? Now you're just going on about like, dating apps are so weird. People just say like, hey. So then I'm like, hi. You don't know how to have a conversation. You didn't read the bio that I painstakingly typed up. I spent a long time on that bio and now I'm offended. Ridiculous. Redonkulous.
I don't know. It's just to see someone mention that in a bio, I'm like, thank you. I can see that you feel the same as me. Yeah, if people, I always think that effort should match interest in dating. So if you're curious if someone's interested or not, remember that scene with Justin Long and what's her face in that movie about dating? Is it he's just not that into you? And he's like, if the guy's interested, he will call. And it's true. So I found a line a couple of years ago and it's like, effort will always match interest. It will show you how interested someone is. And like, I'm pretty goddamn sweet. And I am not that lonely, bored, or horny. I'm not going to take breadcrumbs from someone if I want a sandwich. So if someone hits me with a hey or hi, you can go fuck yourself.
He's just sounding like a complete unhinged asshole here. It's not that deep. What do you mean they can just go fuck themselves? No one's even, like, what does this have to do with anything in this situation? This isn't even flirting. This is just blurting. He's just blurting out all of the most nonsensical shit in his head right now to a complete stranger. And not only that, this is probably not even his first take. I bet he recorded this like 10 times until he had one that was like, this is the one. This was smooth. And that's what we got here. We got the final product. This isn't even like the first draft, I doubt. That's mind-blowing.
I'm worth more. Damn it. This is where the Kelly Clarkson song comes in. Yeah, no, your bio is just, there was so much intentional effort put in. And honestly, the more I scroll down in the pics, I'm like, this does not match up. I don't want to sound like an asshole. Like, attractive people can also be interesting and funny, but it's just incredibly rare. I speak for myself because I'd like to consider myself one of those.
That's the end of chapter 2 from the voice memos, but don't worry, there's still a finale, and it's the extended director's cut. The next one's over 5 minutes long. Also, he doubles down on this whole, like, yeah, you're, like, pretty, but you have a personality, which that just does not happen. I don't know why he thinks that that's some kind of, like, grand compliment. It's very odd. Now, before playing the 5-minute, 30-second monologue here, he must have seen that she listened to it. He's like, gotcha! Yeah, I gotcha! Red-handed, you listen to it. Curiosity got the better of you. And then she says, dude, so you saw me on Bumble and found me on Facebook? How? Clearly very creeped out by it, understandably. And then he goes, oh, I honestly just typed in Kelsey and I guess I got lucky. I figured because you put live music we might have some friends in common or something. I blame Zuckerberg, and then laughing emoji. Which contradicts everything that he's said here because he's constantly talking and referencing her bio, which I think is referring to her dating profile bio. Especially because he does mention, like, online dating with hays and highs and shit. So I don't even know why he thought that would somehow save the situation. Like, she'd be fooled by it.
For the love of fuck, I was like 2 minutes into one, and it was awesome and funny, and I was so proud of it. And then someone called me again about a gig this evening, and it's like, you know that thing where your friends know you're busy or you're on a date or something, and then that's when they decide to call? Jesus Christ.
Excellent. Chef's kiss. This is how you start a romantic message. Oh, for the love of fuck. I was in the middle of something spectacular. You were gonna love it, Kels. You were gonna love it. Trust me. But then one of my fucking asshole friends called me about a gig because I'm so busy being a successful live musician. Can you believe that, Kels? Can you believe that? It's like those things, you know, where like we both go on dates, right? I go on dates. Clearly, you go on dates, and sometimes when you're just busy, people call. It's Jesus Christ.
But yeah, no, your bio was just the fucking bee's knees. I mean, listen, top 3 in like the hundreds or thousands I've seen. It was just, I don't know. I'm a very good judge of character, and you just seem like my kind of person. And I'm not saying we're star-crossed lovers. I don't know you, and you don't know me.
That's 100% correct. You don't know each other. So why are you doing this? This is not how you get to know someone. This is concerning. Also, you should never admit to seeing hundreds or thousands of dating profile bios. That makes you sound very desperate, that you spend all of your time on these dating apps, perusing it, cruising around, and if you don't match with someone you found attractive or interesting based on their bio, you go out of your way to find them elsewhere to try and talk to them, which is very scary behavior.
I fully accept how strange and unconventional this is. I got a vibe, and I figured I got to go with it. I was like in a really good mood that day. I don't know. I'm totally winging it. But yeah, a lot of my close friends are women, and everyone unfortunately has a couple stories of having to block someone's number, or an ex just won't leave them alone, or going to the cops. Fuck, dude, I've had to block a few numbers of crazy people that didn't know they were crazy. So I really, really apologize sincerely if this in any way like triggered that, or it was weird or whatever. Kelsey, that's the furthest thing from my intention. I just wanted to say howdy, and I figured if I talk like an idiot, you'd probably feel like I did after I looked at your bio.
It's so close. He's teetering on the edge of self-awareness. Him saying all of this out loud should have led to this eureka moment where he was overcome with immense shame, and he just presses the eject button and deletes the voice memo and doesn't continue this conversation. Like, he's clearly pointing out just how weird all of this is. He's even going into all of his friends are women who, you know, have stories about having to block crazy people who didn't know they were crazy. Like, case in point, what you're doing here, but you keep trying to, like, make it seem like it's not weird, even though you do keep acknowledging how weird it is. So, like, you're fighting, like, a battle against yourself in your own messages. You are calling yourself out in front of the person that you're talking to as well. It's really weird.
Oh, okay. It's not fair. You've seen mine, or sorry, I've seen yours and you have not seen mine. If you want, I will screenshot my Bumble bio. I'm quite proud of it. I think it's pretty fucking good. It represents me well. And what else would I want to know if I was you? Gee, I'm like 6 feet tall, pretty damn handsome. I'd give me like a 7. No, like a 7.5 out of 10 looks wise. I mean, to my knowledge, no one has dated me for my abs or my hair. I'm guessing it's because I'm funny and honest and clearly very humble and go to therapy and emotionally intelligent.
It's not a job interview, bro. You don't need to be giving your resume here. Brother, just stop. Please, goodness gracious.
7.5, maybe even an 8. I'm feeling really fucking good lately. I got a tan. I'm up to like 80-second side planks. I hate them, but they're totally worth it for the core. And big feet. So you know what that means, baby doll. Big socks.
You're scaring me. You are scaring me. Why would you do that? What? From way downtown here, he's throwing up a crazy jump shot. He immediately goes into, I've got big feet. You know what that means, baby girl. Oh my lord, please. Have mercy. Have mercy. Why? Why?
What else? I feel like I didn't tell you enough about the bio too. That shrug emoji was just, if nothing else, the fact that like you look like a Disney princess and you use that, I'm like, fuck it, I gotta talk to her. So, oh, I was definitely getting strong Kirsten Bell vibes too, and she's awesome. I don't know if you listen to her husband's podcast, Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard. It's quite the reference, but I have a feeling you might know what that is. One of my favorite episodes, actually, is it Lauren Graham that plays Lorelai? She was on there. Anyway, I am all over the fucking place, as is my job.
You're also all over the place in this one-sided conversation. Now you're shouting out podcasts, talking about fucking shrug emoji again. It's hurting me listening to this. Let this be a lesson to everyone out there watching this. Just don't do anything even remotely like this. Never engage in a one-sided conversation where you have to be the one filling in blanks in a conversation that doesn't really exist.
But I'm sitting here, a middle-aged guy in his car with the AC on and a SpongeBob shirt, and I would call this like the technological version of, when like Noah stops Allie in the Notebook and he's like, I had to talk to you when I see something I want. Yes, I just made a Notebook reference. I don't know. I'm being a total idiot right now. So if nothing else, I figured you'd have a laugh and a smile and you can fucking make fun of me to your friends. I don't know. Now you have a solo podcast for a guy that makes like $6,000 a month on a microphone being an idiot.
He was right. This is something that everyone can laugh about and have a big smile on their face making fun of this whole situation. And then out of nowhere, he drops like his salary from his job, like to flex. He just like slides that in there, which it's an interesting strategy yet again. This guy's got a wild book of tricks.
I'm sorry, I don't normally bring up money, but I feel like I created my job out of thin air, and like I just submitted my 2022 taxes, and shit's been getting so much better the last few years, so I'm quite proud of it. That wasn't me trying to impress you, though, with money. I've got way more impressive shit than that. It just slipped out. I hope we can still be friends. Anyway,
Why leave it in there, then? You saying that clearly made you uncomfortable. You could have just deleted this and just tried again. Though I don't think you should have tried again regardless. This shouldn't have happened to begin with. But you yourself just made yourself puke in your mouth when you said your $6,000 a month out loud like that as like a flex, and you still let it ride. You still let this Beyblade rip. Why?
You look like a goddamn Disney princess. The bio completely floored me. I felt like it was written by a friend or something. I just got like strong, like fellow neurodivergent, super cool, gregarious, happy person vibes. And yeah, so listen, I'm an open book. You probably figured that out like 6 overshares ago. If you have any questions for me, please hit me. Don't be shy. If you want, I'll share my bio. I feel like it's unfair that, I've seen yours and you haven't seen mine. I'm quite proud of my bio.
This entire situation has been nothing but overshares from you. She's not going to ask you any questions. No sane person would. It's not going to happen. This whole thing was a complete catastrophe. And once again, hung up on this fucking bio thing. They're just bios. Most people write them in 10 seconds. I don't know how long he spent, like, finally crafting his, but that is not the norm. I'm sure she didn't spend days coming up with her bio on here. I don't know how it resonated so strongly with this guy, but I bet after this whole song and dance, the woman here immediately just deleted her whole account, or at the very least removed the bio entirely.
Yeah, for the 80th time, I apologize if this was weird or like gave you any bad vibes. That's not my intention. Yeah, I gotta drive home now because I gotta go sing at a bar in Mississauga, and I have 4 more gigs this weekend, and it hurts to talk. So I'm sitting here in my car like a jackass, and yeah, I hope that all made some kind of sense. And if nothing else, please take the sincere compliment. I've seen hundreds of shitty bios, probably thousands, and yours was easily top 3. The only reason I'm not giving you number 1 is because then it would seem like I'm lying. But I'm a very genuine, honest person, and yeah. Actually, on my way home, I'm going to go to the park and feed the ducks. My favorite swan couple, Mr. Plump and Mrs. Plumfett, they just had babies a couple weeks ago. So, like, I'll run up and they recognize me and the babies are squeaking. The hierarchy of, like, waterfowl cute babies, it goes swan babies, then ducklings, and then goslings. But, yes, I may or may not do that 4 to 7 times a week. I'm a huge animal lover. Dogs are better than cats. Cats suck. Sorry if you have cats, but I'm sure your cat is cool.
That was one of the most peculiar lies I've ever heard. You're going to stop at the park on the way home so you can visit your favorite swan couple, Mr. Plumph and Mrs. Plumfett, because they just had babies a couple weeks ago, and they recognize you and get excited and start squeaking when you come by, like you're part of the family, part of the crew, part of the ship. What universe? What the fuck? That's not even something Dr. Seuss would write as like a little goofy side plot in a story. That is the biggest lie I've ever heard, for no reason, for no reason. The quirkiness is overloading. Like, the cup runneth over on Quirk. Wow.
And yeah, take the compliment. Anyway, apologies if this totally intruded on your day opposite of my intention. And yeah, your bio was fucking awesome. I mean, there's a couple other assets I noticed too, but I cannot mention them without sounding like a fuckboy, so I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm sure you've worked very hard to be in the shape you're in, but goddamn, lady. God damn, I would not kick you out of bed for eating crackers. So I figured if you are half as funny as you seem to be and half as cool as I got from that bio, I would say howdy. Yeah, all right. Hope this made you laugh and smile, and you have a fantastical day, Kelsey. Cheers.
And that's the grand finale of this whole situation, and what a journey it was. I find this to be probably the best example of the worst approach to romance imaginable. And like I said, this was not an isolated incident. He's done this before. And he's even used the same lines before. Which is it's so wild. It's so wild. I had to talk about it. I had to. So yeah, that's really about it. See ya.